Hey, Eagles fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into the Eagles Report. And today, could the Eagles be looking at adding a running back in free agency? Melvin Gordon might be an option for our Philadelphia Eagles. We'll talk about that. Before we start, though, thumbs up the video if you think the Eagles need to get a running back at some point this offseason to pair with Miles Sanders and Boston Scott. I'm curious what you guys think. Thumbs up the video. Also, we have hit 5,000 subscribers here on the channel. I cannot thank you guys enough for doing that. So look for Thursday night. I'll send out a tweet at Real Thomas Mott. I will also put it in our community page here on the channel. We're going to do a live Q&A video on the YouTube page, probably around 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. Again, I'll have details later, but we're going to do a live video on Thursday. So subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, the way you're notified whenever we go live. I want to hear from you guys and interact. Big thank you for getting us to 5,000 subs. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so when we look at the Eagles offseason, we've obviously talked a ton about, well, they need wide receivers, they need cornerbacks, maybe another O-lineman, maybe a pass rusher, maybe a safety. Like, there are a lot of needs. Linebacker that the Eagles have right now. One that we have not mentioned is running back. Now, you think the Eagles running back, you're immediately going to say, Thomas, we have Miles Sanders, and Boston Scott was fantastic later on in the season. That's a good enough 1-2 punch. The answer to that is yes. Like, if you just went into the season with just Miles Sanders and Boston Scott, like let's say they don't re-sign Corey Clement and they don't bring back Jordan Howard, which they're not going to do. We already basically know that. What could you do with the Eagles in terms of their two running backs? Now, I like what they have. And again, it's what I was just trying to say. Sanders and Boston Scott are just fine. Probably better than fine because we both agree that Miles Sanders is going to be an elite running back in the National Football League. But let's go ahead and go with this idea that the Eagles could be interested in signing a guy like Melvin Gordon, the former Los Angeles Charger. So the idea of this seems kind of crazy, but at the same time, we got to remember, they tried to trade for him at the beginning of the 2019 season. Multiple reports have confirmed, this was confirmed a while ago, just Google it, that the Eagles did call the Chargers before the season, back whenever he was kind of holding out, about possibly trading for him. So think about that. They already had Jordan Howard. They just traded for him, just literally that offseason. And they already had Miles Sanders as a rookie, Boston Scott. Like, they already had all these running backs, and yet still we're looking at Melvin Gordon. That tells me that they are big fans of Melvin Gordon. Would like to see him in the running back rotation. Also, Philadelphia has not been a one-horse running back really since LaShawn McCoy. And even LaShawn McCoy had other running backs around him that would kind of spell him. And it's just the modern NFL. A two-running back, three-running back system is what works right now in the National Football League. Look at the San Francisco 49ers. So this idea that we're never going to trade for Melvin Gordon might not exactly be true because they tried to do it. Might not sign him is what I meant because he's a free agent, not trade for. Sign for him because they did try to go ahead and trade for him at the beginning of the 2019 season, but obviously they did not have enough firepower to go ahead and make the deal happen. The good news is Melvin Gordon's stats were not good this year. He was only available for a couple of games. If you look at the stats overall, he had 162 carries for 612 yards and 8 touchdowns. Like, that's it. So his market price is going to be really, really cheap. And the Eagles have $50+ million in free agency, so they might want to go ahead and at least kick the bucket on Melvin Gordon because, in my opinion, you can never have too many running backs. Like, look at what happened with the 49ers. They were starting with Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman and then Mostert, and it turned out that Breida got injured, Coleman got injured, then Mostert became the number one, and the rest is history. They went to the Super Bowl. Philadelphia last year, remember, it was supposed to be Jordan Howard, the number one. Then he got injured. Then it was Miles Sanders. Then Sanders got a little bit banged up, so they brought in Boston Scott, and Boston Scott was really the hero later on in the season in the Giant game and the Redskin game. He was really, really good. I'm not saying that we should make Melvin Gordon a high-paid running back and make him the number one running back on the Eagles. No, that's Miles Sanders. But if you could mix him in there, and mix it in there well in terms of getting just the right pieces, the right amount of touches with Gordon and Sanders and Boston Scott, it could be very, very successful overall for a Philadelphia Eagles. It would make sense to me. I would be open to it, but I'm very curious what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do the Eagles, one, need a running back? And two, would you be interested in a running back like Melvin Gordon? Again, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. There's also a fascinating article right now on 94WIP's website listing some of the other running backs the Eagles could go ahead and try and grab. I'm going to name some of them right here. They list LaShawn McCoy because he's going to be a free agent, but that possibility of that actually happening to me is very, very low because McCoy just has not looked like himself. Injured toward the latter part of the season, did not play in the Super Bowl. I would pass on LaShawn McCoy. Another one they have here is Carlos Hyde from the Cleveland Browns. 4.4 yards per carry on 245 rushing attempts in 2019. Again for cheap. Maybe a rotational running back there, but I don't know if I go too hard on Carlos Hyde. Chris Thompson from Washington, who's also on this list, would be very interesting because he's been very, very good out of the backfield as well. 3 receiving touchdowns on 35 catches in 2019. If you needed that third down running back to catch the football out of the backfield, maybe a guy like Chris Thompson. But as we look at the Eagles' offseason needs, running back is not one at the top. It's not even close to the top, not even close to the middle. But if you could look at a guy like Melvin Gordon, maybe the Eagles would go ahead and kind of just kick the bucket on it and see if it could be possible for them to go ahead and make a deal like that. Again, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys think the Eagles should go ahead and take a look at a guy like Melvin Gordon, if you want to sign him or not sign him. I do think the Eagles' offense is poised to be very, very good in 2020. Now, we all know that. Now, with improved run and improved wide receivers, hopefully the offensive line figures things out in terms of Peters and Kelsey and what they do with Andre Dillard. But overall, Carson Wentz's progression has obviously come to fruition and should be even better in 2020. You want to make sure that you balance that and pair that with a very good running game, not running back, but running game. And the hope is that Miles Sanders gets better and better, but there just isn't a guarantee that he will. The modern running back is a fascinating position because you have elite running backs like Zeke Elliott and what Todd Gurley was, but we also see that even with the elite running back, you still are not guaranteed to go deep into the postseason. You remember the past couple of teams that won the Super Bowl, even going back to our Eagles, it was Blunt and Corey Clement in the Super Bowl that really got things going. That was not originally what it was supposed to be at the start of the year. Clement just got a lot of touches and got better as the year progressed. So in the modern NFL, the running back spot is devalued, which we know, but can also have a ton of value throughout the season. San Francisco, who had a fantastic run with really an average quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo, a great defense, but an average offense with Jimmy Garoppolo, was carried by their running game, and it was a 1, 2, sometimes 3-headed monster that worked so well. And so if people are typing down below in the comments, and again, I'll read the comments if you guys comment. I always comment back most of the time. I look at it as, if you don't want Melvin Gordon, I understand, but what if we could get him for $5 million? Or like $3 million, a 3-year, $4 million deal. Like, if you could get him for that cheap, I think it would make a lot of sense for the Eagles to go ahead and pull the trigger, just because you can never have too many weapons. And if Miles Sanders, heaven forbid, or Boston Scott got hurt, you still have an elite number 1 running back in Melvin Gordon to go ahead and carry the load. I think it can work. I just got to make sure you don't spend too much, but I would kick the bucket on Melvin Gordon. The reports are that they're at least taking a look because they were interested in him before the beginning of the 2019 season, which they tried to trade from apparently, but I guess that the Chargers wanted too much, which looks bad in the Chargers now because they're going to let him walk, and they're going to need to go ahead and get another running back unless Austin Eckler is the guy that they want to roll with there up with the new look LA Chargers. All right, so comment down below. Again, I'm trying to checking my time here as we're in a different studio right now. In case you couldn't tell, the nice microphone, you guys like that? The soundproof studio. We listen to you guys. We're trying to have fun here, mix it up on the Eagles Report. Here's the deal. Subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell. Thumbs up the video. Those are all things you should do no matter what. But also, it's extra special this week because we hit 5,000 subs, which means we are going to go ahead and do a live Q&A video, most likely Thursday night at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time on the East Coast. We'll have the Super Chat live. You guys can put your questions in. We'll try and answer as many as we can live. Kind of hang out. Our first live video here on the Eagles Report. I'm very excited for it. If you guys are curious and interested in that, let me know in the comment section down below. I want to know that you guys are going to be there to watch because I'm going to take my time. You take your time. We enjoy hanging out together. That way I can kind of grow the community here on the Eagles Report because we're trying to have the best, not only YouTube channel, but the best Eagles community overall. So follow my Eagles Twitter handle, at Report Eagles on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, at Real Thomas Mott. And also go like our Facebook page. The link's in the description down below. We do a ton of great articles there, a ton of great content. We're trying to build a Facebook page as well, so go ahead and give that a like on Facebook as well. All the time we have for today. Melvin Gordon, again, not a top priority, but could be interesting for the Eagles. Hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. Obviously, more videos coming up in the next couple of days. For the Eagles Report, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day. Did you like that video? Thanks for watching, but why don't you click this video right here, because we did it just a couple of days ago, and guess what? It's about the Eagles too. Like that video? Why don't you subscribe right down here? That way you're notified whenever we release more videos here on the Eagles Report. It's the fastest growing Eagles channel here on YouTube. Video, subscribe, click them right now. Go ahead, click them. Did you like that video? Thanks for watching, but why don't you click this video right here, because we did it just a couple of days ago, and guess what? It's about the Eagles too. Like that video? why don't you subscribe right down here? That way you're notified whenever we release more videos here on the Eagles Report. It's the fastest growing Eagles channel here on YouTube. Video, subscribe, click them right now. Go ahead, click them.